Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of the live viewers. And Gemma sorts out something of a technical difficulty. And hello to the replay viewers, and welcome on into the Mental Health Hour. We're going to take Gemma off for a minute while she gets her situation handled. Tonight, we will be covering the topic of toxic friendships. So, should be a really good episode. Um, Hi, Hannah. Welcome on in. And hello also to Knowledge a couple days ago, Car Hunger, and TJ. So we try and do, we try and pick topics or take topics from the audience as there's Gemma. Hi, Gemma.
You had to put me on as I stuck my tongue out high.
Well, we got to get you on the.
Oh, you have a side of the screen.
Yes, welcome in. How are you today? That's a question for you.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Sorry. All the technical difficulties right at the start. I'm fine, other than like technical difficulties.
So as I was saying, we try to pick topics each week, whether they be viewer requested or our own topics that really fit into everybody's life in some way, shape, or form. I feel like we all deal with toxic friendships, and it's not a topic that's really just for a few select people. This could really reach a lot of folks. Gemma, we'll start with you as always. Tell us about toxic friendships.
Oh, like this seems very appropriate actually. But yeah, like it's for a lot of people seem to think that um they can basically like use people for what they can get, and to have a friendship, a good friendship, you've got to give and take and not just take. And there's a lot of people out there that will do things only to receive, and um like they think that they are entitled to, like, just, I don't know, just keep receiving things. They don't like, it's not a two-way split thing, I'm trying to say. Like, I've just had a big brain fart because of all the technical difficulties, so don't mind me. Sorry. We're getting back on track. I've just got error messages popping up, so oh,
The
hey,
good old pre-live failed you tonight.
oh, it did. Yes, it
That's
did.
all right.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, toxic friendships, as we get into this a little bit further, as everybody will probably realize that they've been involved in a relationship like this somewhere in their life, and could be actively in a relationship right now. Um, so I think first and foremost, we'll kind of just break down what a toxic friendship looks like, what it is. Um, I know that you have found some slides, but first I wanted to throw this graphic up. A little quote: "People around you inspire you or drain you. Pick them wisely." And I really liked that
Mm,
because it makes a lot of sense.
mm,
Our relationships with friends, family, work, coworkers, and the like all have a draining effect on us or a inspiring effect on us.
mhm,
Um, Usually, friendship isn't just some stagnant thing that hey, you and I are friends, and then we never speak again. We're usually there's a lot of back and forth with a good friendship. Always talking,
mm,
always either texting or zooming or whatever, talking on the phone.
Yeah.
Uh, so there's a lot of like I said, it's not a stagnant thing. There's a lot of back and forth between the two people,
And a good
and
friendship, like, no matter how far apart, there's, like, it that the distance is no object for a good friendship.
that's true.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, I've learned that more than anything here on Haps. You know, it's just a very international platform, and gladly so. Um, However, with the constant back and forth and chatter between friends or coworkers or employees, uh, you know, that will either drain you or inspire you. Um, so
Mhm.
it's pretty easy to pick out one way or the other if you're in a bad situation for your own mental health or for the mental health of others.
Mhm.
Because certainly, as we learned in the gaslighting episode, we can certainly take a look in the mirror and and see if any of these qualities fall on us. Um, but if you would be so kind, Miss Gemma, to
Mhm.
walk us through some of the signs and things we should be looking for a
Yeah.
toxic friendship, that would be awesome.
Sure. Right. Okay. So we start with there's a few different signs they may actually cross over with each other. Let's press the right buttons. Dear me. I shouldn't be allowed buttons. Right. So shut the cameras off because I get close. Right. So this one is the 10 signs of a unhealthy friendship. I couldn't read the thing. So the relationship is competitive. So there's a lot of that, like I've seen, where it's like a competition to see who can do like the best with like everything. Everything's like it's a competition. They've got to win at something. They like, I've got the best this, I've got the best that, I've done this, I've got that. Um, you're on your worst behavior with your friend. I mean, like, there's nothing like a bit of like friendly banter and stuff, but it's when it becomes toxic, to the point where it is like unhealthy or like potentially something that can get you into trouble, either with the law or with other people. You feel emotionally drained after connecting with the friend. Um, your friend tries to embarrass you in front of others, so like embarrassing, belittling, saying things just to make you feel generally bad.
That right there is all of the draining aspects of this toxic
Mhm.
friendship. It's just the constant negativity is
Yeah.
always going to be a draining force in your life.
And this can also like be like in relation to friendships or relationships or like it just in general, like it would
Yeah,
fit in with like
kind of
anybody in your life.
the same thing
Um,
with our narcissistic episode and the
yeah, they all
gaslighting
fall on.
episode. They
They all
kind of all
fall
go
on.
hand in hand.
Yeah. You don't have anything in common. I mean, like, obviously everybody's got like things that they enjoy doing, but generally a good friendship will have a few things in common at least. Like not it's not going to be everything. You could have different music tastes, different film likes, but generally there is something in common with them. Your friend shares details of your personal life with others. Like, I've just had this recently where things that you perhaps say to someone in confidence, and then they go and, like, disclose that to other people without your consent. Um, the friendship is not reciprocal, so they're like,
There's
how do
no
you
give and
explain that?
take.
Like, yeah. Yeah, like, it's just take, 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 and they continue to expect more from you. You're always having to make the first move to get in touch with them, and,
So the
like, if you go out
reciprocity
with them, like
should be a
mm,
two-way street. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like it should definitely, well, any relationship in your life, not just friendships, but
mhm,
they should be a two-way street. You should
mhm,
give some and take some, and etc. Um, it should not. Sometimes in the toxic friendships, you'll see that it's all about one particular friend. Let's say you have a group of friends. Let's just so far
oh,
I've been feeling like you're having a hell of a time with the buttons tonight. Um,
dude, sorry.
sometimes, or a lot of times, you're derailing me too. A lot of times you'll see, or we'd be thinking about friendships being just one-on-one friendships, but you can have a group of friends, let's say 4 or 5 folks that you are, uh, a good tight click with, say at work, uh, just for example. Um, these cliques and what have you already get their own, uh, bad chatter because nobody likes clicks, all this stuff. But inside the click, uh, now you have 5 people, and say one of them just is this narcissist type
Mm,
person that we've discussed. It can
yeah,
really create a toxic environment for the other 4 folks. Um, so I just
mhm,
wanted to throw that out there as well, that it's not just a one-on-one situation all the time. Sometimes you have a group of
mhm,
friends that this could fall under.
yeah. Alright, where were we?
Do you
So
want me to
you're
hit the buttons?
yeah, it's probably the best. You're unable to have healthy disagreements, so, like, with any relationship as a rule, you're gonna have some kind of, disagreement, but, like, there's a difference between having a healthy debate and a full-blown argument where you just can't, like and then to have that and then to be made to feel like you and your thoughts are invalid and that they are wrong and you're made to feel like you're wrong for having those opinions. That's like everybody is allowed their opinion and you know your friend doesn't respect your boundaries. So again, just like knowing your friend's limits and respecting that. The relationship is I can't read this. Oh, codependent. Yeah, I'm having a hard time reading it. So small. Sorry. Um, so like again, where are we? You just are you touching the buttons now?
I am. I've got us back to square one here.
Oh dear
So
me.
codependency is something that we'll touch on probably in
Mhm.
its own episode.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into codependent relationships.
Mhm.
Um, but yes, they can certainly make things toxic as well. It's good to mention uh, into this episode. However, um, Gemma's hair does look lovely, doesn't it?
Thank you.
Uh, um, yeah, it's hard to mention, or I mean, it's hard to get too deep into codependency right now because, like I said, we're going to do probably an entire episode on that. Um,
Mhm.
but if you'd like to take us into another slide, the buttons are all yours again. I just wanted to get us on
Um,
a back to
yeah.
square one,
Yeah, like, let's
as
just
you've hit every button there is. I think.
oh, pretty much. Signs of a toxic relationship again, so they always compare you, like, to them, to other people. I've had quite a lot of that. Putting you down every time, so it can be things like saying that you're no good at things, like, just literally anything, nitpicking about anything, gossiping about you. don't respect the boundaries that you have. That was on the other one. They leave you unsettled, try to change you. Now that's quite a big thing. And I've had that before, like trying to change you into like especially like if they see that you're confident, and this can come with the gaslighting and the narcissism, where they want to change you into something else. So like nitpicking and things so that they make you feel like you're, I guess, worthless to the point where they tell you what to wear, for example, how to behave, and you become like a shell of your former self. They make you feel lonely, and I literally was discussing this the other day actually, and say there's nothing lonelier than people think that being lonely is being on your own, but often there's nothing more lonely than being with people that are just wrong for you. And it's
Totally.
being with people that are not right for you, that will continually put you down and make you feel worthless. Now that is like that's lonely. I'm always competing with you and very self-centered. I'm gonna like take that one off. I think there was one more. Um, with this one, I don't know how easy it's gonna be to read it. Oh god, you can't zoom in, can you?
No, but
Um,
we can come back to this because I want to. If you want to pull it up on your phone, it'll be easier. But real quick, I wanted to touch on a few things there. The loneliness and the selfishness, um, especially the selfishness. These are this is one of the biggest uh, signs of a toxic relationship in general. Um, how it falls right in line with the gaslighting episode we just did and the narcissist episode we just did is crazy. It's it's nice to see these episodes lining up so perfectly.
mm,
If we go back here, they always compare you. The gossip. That's what I wanted to touch on. Gossip is something that we cannot get through life without.
mhm,
I think I've come to terms with that in my own world, where I am in the fire department, especially. And what I say all the time to people that come and talk with not just me, but amongst our shift or whatever, they're like, God, I just don't like gossip. I just don't understand why people need to do this, and
mm,
um, you know, uh, etc. On things like pertaining to gossip. And I say that I haven't worked in a single job, and I've had several before I, became a career firefighter. I worked in grocery stores. I worked in um, malls and stocking shelves and all kinds of stuff. School. Um, Everywhere you go, there's gossip. Everywhere you go, there's drama.
oh
Um,
yeah,
Look at Haps. I mean,
yeah,
even
oh,
on the Haps platform, there's gossip. There's drama. Um,
everywhere.
Everywhere you go, you're gonna run into gossip and drama, and there's just no getting out of it. There's no safe place from it. So just keep that in mind. I mean, as we move forward, if anybody out there has found one place on this planet where you are safe from gossip or drama, please put it in the comment section and let us know where it is because I certainly haven't found it. But
We haven't
that
got.
being said, while gossip and drama is a normal part of our day to day lives on this planet, too much of it, like anything else, can be toxic.
Mm,
Everything in moderation. Um, if you're constantly getting the same gossip and drama and gossip from the same friends, maybe it is time to take a step back from that friendship. Um, you know your limits. Um, if if you enjoy a little bit of back and forth, enjoy a little gossip, enjoy a little what's going on in the world of whatever today, then that friendship won't be affected at all. You guys will have a good back and forth. You know when to stop, when to cut it out, and move forward. Uh, and usually, one friend or the other can be the one to say, "Hey, I think we've beaten this horse dead. I don't think anything's really going to change right now. Let's move on to something else."
Mhm.
And oh, thank you, Lindsay. Yes, this is our breast cancer awareness shirt for the month of October. We get to wear design shirts every year in the fire service. Um, Usually, the different counties try and make the best shirt design, what have you. Um, but anyway, uh, yeah, gossip and drama are a normal part of everyday life, and there's no getting around it. But as long as it's moderated, you know, the one friend doesn't feel like it's too far or too much, or the only thing that you guys are friends for is to just talk shit about somebody else. I mean,
Mhm.
that's where it really gets toxic is when these people that love the gossip and drama start
Mhm.
constantly talking shit on people. So uh, we got to try and stay away from that stuff. There's no real reason for anybody to be talking poorly about other people behind their backs all the time, you know.
No. Some
But
people thrive on it though, like, they can't seem to get through a day without, like, just being horrible and spiteful, and it seems that by putting other people down, it makes them feel good, and, like,
that
that's just a horrible place and person to be, what
that
like
has to fall under the last one here. Don't respect your boundaries. You have to.
Mhm. Yeah.
There comes that point in any friendship or relationship that
Mhm.
you set your boundaries up. You have to establish boundaries for that other person to realize what they can and can't talk about, get away with, this, that, and the other. Um, and everybody's boundaries are going to be different. Did you get that other one pulled up on your phone so you can actually see it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
locked again now, so just bear with me. Oh.
I'm going to throw it up on the screen. We'll go
Mhm.
through this. Um,
Right.
and if there's
So
any questions as well, please throw them into the
yeah, so
comments.
it's a bit small to read,
Hey,
unfortunately,
Di.
but it's got, um it's got 2 types of, 2 friends. So the purple one is Alison and the red one is Sophia. Okay, so and we'll read the purple one first. So is happy for you when things are going well. So this is like we're describing 2 types of friends, and the idea is you in the comments maybe say either the purple or the red, which one's like the best of like the better person, I guess, the better friend. So going to the purple one, so is happy for you when things go well, encourages and points out great things about you, understands when you're busy or need me time, calls because she misses you, respects you and your opinions, trusts you, honors her commitments and values your time, accepts you as you are, embraces your other friends, keeps your confidences and stands up for you, is interested in how you are, wants to listen, empathize, and help with problems, is generous with you, is open, honest, and vulnerable with you, is tolerant and forgiving, and invests in your friendship. And then the bottom part, it says, you feel valued, happy, better about yourself, and at ease to be authentic and vulnerable. You look forward to seeing her and create opportunities to catch up. Then the red side, Sophia, is jealous when things are going well for you, judges and criticizes you, often disguised as helpful honesty, calls you only when she needs something or needs to see you all the time. So like they can't manage without you. They're very needy. Dismisses your opinions and always needs to be right. Doubts and discredits you. Cancels and reschedules often. Tries to change you. Doesn't like or respect your other friends. Shares private information about you with others and spread rumors. Lacks empathy and makes everything about her. Takes more than gives. Lies to you and doesn't share openly. Starts petty arguments. Compares your relationship to her other friends and accuses you of not being as good a friend. And then the bottom says you feel stressed, emotionally exhausted, and bad about yourself. You dread seeing her and feel relieved when she leaves. So they're two very different types of friendships. And like, I'm pretty sure that you would all know that there's like a big difference between the two and which one would be the healthy and the toxic friendship.
Yes. Um, just a couple of things I yes, you did. I saw that. Just a couple of things that I wrote down there from the second side. Um, Here's how it all ties in with um, the gaslighting and the narcissistic personality disorder that we've done. Dismissive. Uh, your toxic friends can be dismissive, cancels all the time,
Mhm,
doesn't like your other friends. And then you said several bullet points that all fit under selfish.
mhm,
And they're comparative of themselves to your other friends, or they're comparative of your friendship to friendships you share with others. Um, they want to be the best, they want to be number one. These are very narcissistic traits. Um, and they'll gaslight you into thinking that they're the best, and that your other friends shouldn't matter, or not that they shouldn't matter, but not matter as much as that they are number one. Um, and then the canceling out of plans and stuff, the flakiness, as it's often referred to as, that can also be a detrimental part of friendships,
mhm,
because when it happens all the time, I mean, once or twice, if you have to cancel on something, that's understandable. Life
mhm,
happens, things come up, um,
mhm,
and we move on. But if it's every single time that you're having to cancel on, whether it be plans or even just a phone call, like you guys plan to talk, uh, then you become this person that it's not a very trustworthy
mhm,
friend. Um, but at the same time, when you're doing things that aren't helping you to be considered a trustworthy friend, an advocate, or a confidant, etc., then you're also still trying to be, the number one. So you're forcing yourself onto another person that you're also basically taking down with you. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that
yeah,
correctly?
yeah,
Um, think about how many times in your own life, and this goes out to the comment section, replay viewers. Think about how many times any of these traits, qualities have been involved in one of your friendships. Um, and also, as I mentioned in the gaslighting episode, take a second to see if you're the one that's putting this out there as your product. Um,
mm,
what do you think, Gemma?
yeah. Certainly, like we said about, even we learn about things like looking up some of the traits for toxic friendships and stuff. I was thinking, gosh, I can relate to some of this because like certainly been happening a lot lately. I mean, as you say, stuff happens, life happens and things, and it can be difficult at times, like if you've got other commitments, family, things like that. But when there starts to be a pattern where it's happening like constantly, and then you just start to think, do they think of me the way I think of them? And you start questioning things. You start thinking like, because certainly, like, if you're constantly having to reach out to someone and they're not bothering to reply or anything, you think, like, certainly I do. I think, like, oh, am I bothering them? Like, I'm trying to check things are all right and, like, no replies and stuff. And then you start thinking, well, am I bothering them? Do they actually want me to, you know? And it just makes you question everything. And then you start doubting yourself. Like, and that's in a way that can be very closely compared to the gaslighting in an indirect way, I guess, because of the way that by doing that, the way they're making you feel. Certainly for me, like that's been happening. And you become, yeah, like they say, like you become paranoid because you think, well, have I done something wrong? Is it me? Like, have I said something? And I'm terrible. I overthink everything to the point where, like, I'll just
I can
go
attest
complete
to
full
that.
circle with it. And yeah, you think, well, like, should I just stop? You know, like, you know, and it
Yeah,
it can be pretty detrimental to your own health.
certainly. And
Mhm.
yeah, not just your mental health, but physical health and
Mhm.
everything that follows, because
Yeah.
of course they're all tied together. If you're not living a good mental health lifestyle,
Mhm.
then it's going to show up in your physical health, emotional, and all of the ensuing. Touching a little bit more on the dismissive side of things, uh, this is something that I was pretty bad at myself, uh, and I didn't really realize that I was bad at it. Being dismissive, to break it down for a minute, of your friends. Sometimes you don't even mean to be dismissive, but you're kind of you're being dismissive without realizing it. For example, uh, I all the time would have, if a friend would come up and talk to me about something, um, and maybe ask my advice on something. Uh, I'm feeling like such and such. Uh, what do you think about this in particular? I'm trying to think of a good example. Uh, like if somebody, let's say Gemma came up to me and said, "Hey, uh, I'm feeling like people aren't listening to me and I'm disrespected and this, that, and the other." And my
Mhm.
immediate response is, "You're not disrespected, and you're not. Nobody thinks badly of you."
Mhm.
Here I am trying to say something helpful.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm trying to negate what you're thinking because I may not think it's true. Um, but at the same time, what that's doing is dismissing her thought. Um, so when we look
Mhm.
at the word, as I'm explaining it, you know, I've negated your original thought, and that means I've also dismissed it.
Mhm.
So even with the best of intentions of me
Mhm.
just trying to lead you down another path of thought, and away from thinking that you're disrespected, I'm disrespecting you and dismissing you. It's a very tricky thing, because
Mhm.
I'm not meaning to dismiss you, but I am, and you can certainly feel dismissed in that sense. Um, so I had to learn a lot about how I was putting that off, and what to say instead. So how do I go about this to get my point across still, uh, and not be as dismissive. And a lot of times it has to do more with not coming at it in a non-negateful manner, like looking at it maybe as, okay, so you're feeling dismissed, or I'm sorry, you're feeling disrespected,
Mhm.
and that nobody listens to you. So how do we go about fixing this problem? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Does any of what I just said make sense to everybody? Because I feel like I
Yeah.
did a very piss poor job of explaining what was up here. Um, but please, if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. I'd be happy to clarify. I think I
Yeah.
got the point across okay.
Yeah, yeah. I understood. Yeah.
Have you had that happen, or do you notice these things that I'm talking about? Like, have you noticed, not just from me, like, but anybody in your life? Do you feel dismissed ever when
Oh,
you
yeah.
bring up something?
Yeah, often. Like, I think for me, my family are the worst offenders for that one. Like, um, I didn't touch any buttons there. He's had to. But yeah, for me, my family is like the worst for doing that. Hey, Jim. Um, it's like everything that I have said, like when I'm feeling like often because of my health, sometimes I will feel like I'm a bad mother because I can't do certain things. And like everything that I'm feeling is just dismissed. And generally, like they'll just be quite dismissive of everything. But then, yeah, I've had it before, even such as like this on here. And like we just had a conversation not 5 minutes before hitting go live, but I find that you're not dismissive of that. Um,
Yeah,
and like certainly I've found that like lately, especially with all the stuff that's been going on, you've kind of kept me on the straight and narrow kind of thing. Um, but yeah,
I
it's
try.
yeah.
Welcome on in, everybody. I'm sorry we have been missing some comments tonight. There are there's a lot
Mm,
going on with this
I'm trying
topic
to
in
go through some.
particular. Um, but welcome on into Jim. Happy Catalyst Wednesday.
Yeah, that's true, Alex.
Um, uh,
Hmm.
and Intuitive Die, good to see you. Um, and everybody, that stopped in and said hello. Thanks for being here as always. We love Jem and I love doing this show. It was
Mm-hmm.
nothing. It was absolutely nothing when she texted me earlier this week to say, "You want to do a special on Sunday?" I was like, "Absolutely, let's do it." I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just this show's a lot of fun. Um, yes, Jim, thank you. I am feeling a lot better. I'm released from quarantine. Uh, I'm back to work. I was at work yesterday for 24 hours, and everything. COVID is gone. I'm good to be out in the wild again. Today is all
Ouch.
about allergies. Today is all about allergies. I cannot shake uh, the sneezing and rubbing my eyes. So I apologize if I'm touching my face a lot today. It's just I had to get up and go blow my nose a couple seconds ago. Um, anyway, yes. So dismissiveness as a on the whole is a great a great uh, sign of
Mm,
toxic relationships. Dismissiveness can present itself very
mhm.
subtly, but
Yeah.
you certainly know on your insides whether or not you felt dismissed or not in a friendship
Mhm.
or in any relationship. So, like I say every week, we try and keep things, you know, compact and not so broad. Um, that's why we've titled this one "Toxic Friendships." Uh,
Mhm.
but the information really does translate over to work relationships, over to
Oh, yeah.
Your boss or coworkers, your family members,
Mhm.
etc. Like Gemma, you just spoke on your family. Uh,
Yeah.
and the information really does translate it translates nicely between yes, touching my face more today, definitely more on the whole. And so uh what else did I have? Oh, the canceling we talked about. Doesn't like the other friends.
Yeah.
Touch briefly on that. um I did say that uh you can have that one friend that wants to be the forefront, the best friend. Um,
Mhm. And gets
whether
jealous when you go with the others and tries to make you feel guilty about it. Yeah, yeah.
especially if you're in a group of friends,
Mhm.
or say there's a 5 or 6 people friendship group that you have,
Mhm.
um, and that one person wants to be the alpha of the friends, or what have you. Quite easy to pick that out. A lot of times I would just let this kind of thing slide. Um,
Mhm.
Because, I mean, you almost expect it in any group of friends. There's gonna be one person that wants to be alpha.
Mhm.
Uh, and I guess in a lot of in a lot of ways, the hierarchy does dictate that we need an alpha in most, um, relationships, especially the working relationship. You need to have that separation between boss and coworker. That's why it's a very toxic situation if you're good friends with your boss, and
Mhm.
then the boss has to put the hammer down one day at work because stuff's not getting done, and he has to be the asshole. And no, but hey man, I thought we were friends. Well, this is work, and I need you to do your job. I mean, you're just asking for a can of worms there.
Mhm.
So throw this quote back up for those of you that are just joining us or came in a little later. I threw this up in the beginning. Just a nice quote that I liked for this episode, uh, and the episodes we've done previously. People around you inspire you or drain you, and pick them wisely.
Mhm.
Um, that's a powerful thing to think about. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, any relationships we have in our life, whether it be friendships, uh, family members, coworkers,
Mhm.
classmates, these people that you are dealing with on the regular are
Mhm.
constantly either increasing your energy and increasing the good vibes in your life, or they're just draining you entirely and emotionally draining you physically, which in turn physically drains you. Because if you're not good up here, you're not going to be good all over.
Mhm.
And that reigns quite true. I see it all the time in myself. If up
Yeah.
here uh, isn't in a happy place, or at a place where it's operating um, clearly, then the rest of this does not operate clearly. Uh, Lifting others up is such a joyful experience. Yes, and that's another great way to look at it, Ella. Um, Not only are you doing a good service to the community by doing something to lift others up, but it also helps you on the inside. It helps the mental health of your situation stay in a good place, which again then translates through the rest of your body and how you act and how you are amongst other people. It fills your tank. Yes, that's
Mhm.
a great way to put it. Um, and running back through for those uh, that have joined late, uh, some of the things we looked at.
Mhm.
Um, did we lose some? Oh no, there they are.
There's I had to because it was a long one, so I cut it
I
into.
gotcha.
Mhm.
They always compare you. They put you down every time. They gossip about you.
Mhm.
We did talk about gossiping a good bit. Um, try to change you. Uh, let's
Mhm.
talk about that a little bit. Um, Obviously, the selfishness of other people can definitely be shown in how self-centered they are. Um, let's talk about trying to change you. So
Mhm.
your toxic friends, uh, I believe there's a difference here, because when we think about changing others, my brain immediately goes to your significant other, your wife, your husband, your
Mhm.
partner, whoever your significant other is. Um, they're constantly trying to change the person that you are to better suit them and better suit the relationship.
Mhm.
Um, now, this isn't always the case, but I feel like what I'm trying to say here is I feel like um, it gets more of a reputation in this relationship. Um, but it certainly can happen in your cliques, your friendships, your groups of friends. Um, the person that wants to change you to better suit them. This all falls into gaslighting again. Um,
Yeah.
our episode on gaslighting is
Mhm.
trying to change the perspective of others to better suit themselves, uh,
Yeah.
and change you physically, not physically, but emotionally, and what you feel, and the way you think. Like if your thoughts aren't in line with theirs, then they either throw a tantrum or try and constantly berate you until you change your mind and your views and your opinions to coincide with theirs. Have you seen this, Gemma?
Oh, yeah. I've had it a few times personally as well, where I've had people try and change me to fit their agenda, and, like, if I've, say, wanted to do something and it's not being something that perhaps that person wants, um, it does come really strongly with the gaslighting, like, they can make you feel like you've got a choice and they give you a choice, but then, like, if you choose the option that they don't want, then you're gonna know about that, and they will, like, belittle you and keep going on at you about it until you end up cracking and changing what you want to fit with them and their agenda, and it can start really subtly. I've had it where, like, say I've been going out and they could comment, "Oh, you're not wearing that, are you?"
Yeah,
I'm very much like a kinda hoodies and jeans kinda girl, like, I'm not one that'll I just haven't got the energy these days, to be fair, and I remember going out with a friend at the time, and they'd be like, "We You can't go out like that," 'cause their intention was to, meet people, and it didn't fit in the way I was, didn't fit in with what they wanted, and then they started, like, name calling and just, like, belittling me and stuff, and I'm like, uh, it can start subtle with little niggly comments and then go all out for the whole,
yeah,
um, yeah.
and it's draining.
Mhm, yeah.
It's draining when it's something that happens regularly from the same people.
Oh, yeah.
It can be very draining. Definitely something to keep an eye on. So the whole
Mm,
point of this episode um, is to just keep your eye on your friendships. Keep an
mhm,
eye on things. You don't have to. We never want you to take any of this information and start analyzing each friendship, uh, or any topic that we decide to talk about. We
mhm,
just want to present some information. Uh, as we've lived through some of this and we've learned about it in my own journey through rehab and Gemma's own journey on her side, we've come through a lot of this stuff, and we've actually taken the time to research and learn more about these things before we come on and present this information. And the reason that we do this is because people do like talking about this stuff, and it needs to be a more normal thing. It shouldn't be considered something that is taboo. Um,
Mhm.
but the ultimate goal here, especially for an episode like this, is to not necessarily break down and start breaking up with your friends and everything. It's just to be aware of what could possibly be draining your mental health and be draining your emotional existence and be draining your physical appearance, etc. Because of all that. Um, we're in no way telling you to go out there and start finding new friends. you know,
Yeah.
friends are a very important part of our lives. It's nice to have friends. It's nice to be a friend to someone,
Mhm.
especially a confidant,
Yeah.
somebody that you can share some intimate details with and
Mhm.
still, uh, not send them running for the hills, if you will.
Yeah.
Um, these are very important people in our lives, and you know the friends that are deserving of your time and energy, and you know
Mhm.
the friends that are just draining you. It's completely up to you whether or not you want to break off friendships that drain you or not. Um, I have a hard time myself doing that because I always look for the best in people, and I don't want to be that guy that just shuts everybody out that completely drains my energy, karma, everything into the negative. Now, if it's over the top, I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. I have my own sober journey to stay focused on, and
Mhm.
I do not have time for the constant negativity.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so, in very rare cases, I have put an end to friendships that have been nothing but a negative effect on my life.
Mhm.
Um, but at the same time, if it's just every so often, I have a hard time
Yeah.
saying goodbye
Or
to
people that
those.
think they can dictate to you what you should and shouldn't be doing and who you should and shouldn't be friends with.
Sure. Yes,
Yeah.
I just had a situation like that arise.
Mhm.
Uh, there's no reason at all that you should feel as friends like you should
Mhm.
have enough control over that person that you
Yeah.
can dictate what they can do and what they can't do.
And
Um,
no amount of like, no matter what hold they think they have over you, nobody has the right to tell you what you can and can't do with your life or who you can and can't be friends with. And if they're gonna do that, and then if they're gonna like try and control every aspect of your life, then there is only one option I see with the end of that, and that is to just walk away and let them get on with it.
yes, I agree.
Mhm.
And I think we
Mhm.
wrapped it up pretty nicely there. We're coming up on the hour. I did want to discuss one thing.
Mhm.
Um, if you could throw that bio link back in the chat one
Mhm.
last time. Um, please, to everybody watching live right now, and to everybody that watches the replay, if you make it this far, I hope. Um, please, if you want to get in contact with Gemma or I,
Mhm.
every week we tell you to hit us up anytime you want to. And we put our bio link on there. It has all of our socials, all of our DMs.
Mhm.
You can get in contact with us very easily anytime you want if you need to talk to us, or if you have show requests, or if you want to be on the show, or
Yeah,
et
it's all
cetera, et
in the
cetera.
bio link now.
Um, there are certain forums uh, that should not be used to discuss mental health hour stuff,
Mhm.
especially right in the middle of a public forum in
Mhm.
particular.
Yeah.
Um, please try and that's why we set this.
Mhm.
um, bio link up is so that there's multiple avenues to reach us. And just keep that in mind um, for the future, please. And that being said, let's do a quick update on
Mhm.
Doe's Walk for Mind. I'm looking at it now. We have 426 pounds
How many miles
raised.
have you done, Dove?
And
Can you
Doe,
put
yes, if you're in the comments, please update us on the mileage. That's 85% of Doe's goal. So we're almost there. Uh, that's awesome. Great work. As always, 76 miles down.
Oh my
Just
word.
awesome. So
That's
Doe is
like
out there crushing it. And yeah.
honest.
Also, I want to say special thanks to one of our active sponsors here, Ella,
Mm.
and my buddy Valentine. I'm going to drop that in the comments. MyBuddyValentine.com. And if you visit her website and use the code FireDude15 or any of the other 30 that she has out there on Haps right now, um, there is always some good. Everybody wants one of the bunnies, with the
Mm.
lights. But there's a lot of other stuff on her website that is very awesome. And it all goes to help bunny rescues and Ella's cause, which we are very big supporters of here at Mental Health Hour. Um, but yes, let her know that you are from the HAPS team, or you're not the HAPS team, but you're from the HAPS family. And yeah, there's always a little extra something in your stocking uh, when you order from My Bunny Valentine. Use one of our codes here.
Mhm.
Um, And let's also not forget tonight is Catalyst Wednesday. Please visit our
Mhm.
good friend Jim in Chicagoland at is I don't know if we're doing fire pits anymore, Jim, or not, but I know you said soon it's going to be back to the candles, which is just as good, just as fun, just as good conversation. If you haven't been to Catalyst, please stop by tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. Central. Uh, Sitting around. It's pouring outside. Oh no. So it sounds like a candle broadcast tonight. But they're just as good and just as fun. And the conversation on Catalyst is next to none. Um, just some
Mhm.
great overall conversation for the middle of the week blues. Um, Getting over that hump day. Come stop by and talk with everybody. I'll be there tonight and look forward to it every Wednesday on the HAPS platform. Gemma, do you have anything to close out the show with? Any
Um,
last thoughts on toxic friendships or things to
uh,
promote?
um, I did have something I wanted to say. It was regards to reaching out, like you said, make sure the place is appropriate. But just something that I wanted to address with something that's like being arising. If you have to question whether it is appropriate enough to send to somebody, maybe you need to think longer and harder about it before you do. I am happy to help anybody with anything, but as I've said, like, please make sure it's also respectful and appropriate. I am not trained in like mental health. I'm only sharing my personal experience as is Tim. So, like, I'm happy to help anyone anytime, but like, I also have um, a life in which I have to live as well, and I will always get back to somebody. But yeah, like, just recently, like, as I say, 40, 50 messages in one night is a bit excessive. But yeah,
Absolutely.
like, that's all I just wanted to say. Like, I will help anybody anytime, but 40, 50 messages in one night is excessive. So
Yeah.
just bear with me. That's all I'm saying. But as I said as well, if you have to question in your mind, whether you think that that is appropriate to send somebody, then maybe it isn't. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. And like, we're both happy to help anyone, but
Yes,
the same time,
absolutely.
we are not medically trained, and we have to stress that out loud. I am looking at I've actually made inquiries about doing something to get some kind of training, professional training. However, neither of us are, and we're just sharing our personal experiences. I've
And sometimes
personally
that's enough,
found,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I've personally found that it's been helpful reaching out to people that have been there, done that sort of thing, more
Yeah.
so than a medic.
This
But
is
um,
this
mm,
show is to be viewed more as a group therapy type of uh, tool rather than us being medical professionals to come listen to. We've lived through a lot of this, as have a lot of you in the comment section, and it's just we're here to generate conversation, you know. And like Gemma said, I'm also happy to take any messages. Let's just be honest. Gemma's the one you want to talk to.
oh, and I'm making like because a lot of people are using Discord, so they're making a Discord channel for the mental health hour
Yep.
where
So
like
still
you
growing.
can chat with each other as well. Like we've often talked about support groups and things, so we want to try and make a safe place there as well, so that people can
Yeah.
talk among themselves, and we'll be in there as well. So it's not like within the crowd of everybody else that's on like the HAPS platform and stuff. And it's specifically for like just mental health and then to reach out to other people that might have the same thing. So if you're interested in joining that, I'm gonna put it on the bio link, but like until I do, if you're interested in joining, then just hit me up and I'll add you to it. But yeah,
Right on.
so like yeah, I just wanted to address that with the like the boundary stuff and things
Yeah.
because it's been a bit intense lately, so to say the least.
Absolutely. But
Mhm.
we also appreciate you taking the time to reach back to the folks that do reach out to us.
Yeah.
I've gotten a few messages myself, nowhere near 40 or 50, but I always get right back to you guys if you need to reach out. The bio link, we'll drop it one more time. Why not? And on our way out the door here, if
Mhm,
you do need it, if you do need to talk to Gemma or I, please do not hesitate.
mhm.
Anytime, we're always here, and that's why we do this show. And we'll see
Yeah.
you guys next week for another great episode. And thanks for tuning in tonight. Thank you for all the awards. Thanks for the great conversation as always. And hopefully we see you all later tonight at Catalyst. All right. Thank you
Except people
guys.
in the UK that
And
should be
bye for
asleep
now.
just because it's on here.
Yeah. All righty. Bye for now.
Bye.